Stuff I didn't even get to yesterday. Definitely want to talk about... Last week I brought up a theory about Donald Trump. More of that. Updates on the hip-hop beef between Drake and Meek Mill. That's important. Paul has found me a new viral video that both of us are kind of obsessed with. Dan Soder is going to be on the show. Dan Soder is going to be here in just a little bit. He's going to be talking to us about everything from his new SiriusXM satellite radio show. I was so excited yesterday to find out that both of my guests, DJ Who Kid and Judah Friedlander, had been at the gathering of the Juggalos. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe my luck. I could talk about Juggalos. Anybody who's known me and has listened to my various radio shows on this platform and this channel over the years know that I'm obsessed with Juggalo culture. I think it's just the most interesting thing. I could listen to, hear about, talk about Juggalos for hours and hours on end. No problem. I watch those. They put out these 40-minute infomercials. The Insane Clown Posse does. They're like 40 minutes long, and they put them out on YouTube every year to advertise everything that's going to be going on at the Gathering of the Juggalos, their festival. I watched the whole thing, the entire 40 minutes. And I have a lot going on. That's a big commitment for someone like me. But, I mean, I've talked to the Insane Clown Posse, but to hear firsthand from people, I had DJ Who Kid and Judah Friedlander both on the show yesterday. And we were talking about the Gathering of the Juggalos. We put up a little video clip at youtube.com/notsam. You can also find the clip if you go to twitter.com/SRShowSXM. That's SRShowSXM on Twitter. And you can find the video clip that way of Judah and DJ Who Kid in studio talking to me about everything that went on at the Gathering of the Juggalos, from nude women to random fireworks to... I mean, Who Kid said everybody was nice to him. Like, they're just lighting off fireworks. They're getting ready to throw rocks. They're throwing liter bottles of soda at performers. But once you get off stage, they're like, hey, you're family at the Gathering of the Juggalos. I guess that's why I think it's so interesting. Plus, they're all dressed like clowns. Everybody's got a bunch of people with clown makeup on that's just being nice to everybody. I really want to meet, and we should see, Paul, if we can get him in studio. I want to meet the human stomach, the guy that just gets up on stage and gets naked and starts dancing. That's that's what we could do. We could get Mary Jean back in here and then get the human stomach to get naked and see. Maybe we get a couple girls. Maybe we get more than just Mary Jean. He's got a lot of area to cover. But still, we should get him in, since the Filthy Brothers, and I'll talk about the Filthy Brothers definitely later on today, since the Filthy Brothers want nothing to do with me, apparently. Paul has been trying. Paul is one of, as much as I say about Paul that's negative, and it's all very, very true, he's still, believe it or not, as awful as Paul is, he's one of the better producers in the building, which says a lot to the people that are behind most of the shows here. So congratulations on that, Paul. But he's been working on getting the Filthy Brothers in here. And so far, not biting. We'll talk about the Filthy Brothers in a little bit. Ron in Indianapolis, welcome to Sam Roberts Show. If you want to call, by the way, 866-969-1969 is the number. What's going on, Ron?
Hey, Sam. How are you doing today?
Good, pal.
I was just calling. I remembered when Hookah was speaking about, being abducted by aliens, and I called him that day.
Yeah. And
just really to kind of bring back something, kind of like bringing back the 80s and the 90s, but we're just going to bring back a couple months ago with it.
It's a Throwback Tuesday.
Throwback to D's Nuts.
That's right. You just want to say D's Nuts?
Yes, D's Nuts.
All right, well, you got to do better than that. You got to say, you can't just say D's Nuts.
Oh, wait, okay, well, hold on a second. Let me read that.
You got to lead me into a question, like, are you okay mentally? The D's Nuts is one of the easiest jokes you could ever do.
Yep, I'm not like a professional radio broadcaster like you are. This is new for me.
You're right. I talk to the people in my life about that all the time. They say, Sam, you know what your problem is? I go, what? They go, you hold people to your standards. It's not human, the level to which you're able to perform. And I say, maybe you're right. Maybe I expect greatness out of everybody, and maybe it's wrong.
Yes, That's probably true. I mean, it'd be like me expecting you to learn how to handle a big dick.
Oh, I can handle a big dick. Don't you worry about that.
All right, have a good day.
All right, buddy. I'll talk to you later. He admitted that it didn't work out, and he moved on. Duffy in New Mexico, welcome to Sam Roberts Show.
Hey, Sam, did you hear about the guy in Iowa who's running for president?
Who's that?
These nuts.
Okay, that's a little closer. That's a little closer.
That's what the guy's name is. You can look it up. Apparently, it's a story.
I did read that there is a guy in Iowa who, I don't know, is he running for president or is he running for a different political office? There's
I think they said president.
There's a guy in Iowa, and he's legitimately saying his name is D's nuts. And he wants to win. I don't see how he must have. Is that his legal name?
I just think he's a fan
of me.
Yes, sir.
It says Iowa man. I think you're right, because if anybody's brought that back, it's me. Iowa man who's named D's nuts has filed paperwork to run for president. He's filed it with the Federal Election Commission to run for president in 2016. Nuts, who's an independent, filed the paperwork with the FEC on Sunday. They usually see dozens, if not hundreds, of people who declare their candidacy but have virtually no realistic chance of winning. Yeah, usually. I think this would be the exception. That might be the only thing that sways me from voting for Donald Trump is voting for D's nuts. I think it'd be great for the show. I think it'd be fabulous. Thank you very much, Duffy.
Yeah, have a good night, man.
Rick, I will, but first I'll try to get through the afternoon. Rick in Connecticut.
Sammy Brand muffins.
Yeah?
Do you know Dwight?
Dwight who?
The Dwight around your mouth. Oh!
Okay, all right. I like it. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it.
Yeah, all right, man. Talk to you later.
I'll talk to you later, Rick. Richard in Florida. Welcome to Sam Roberts Show.
Hey, how's it going, Sam?
Good,
hey, did you happen to see John Cena's nose last night on Raw?
Holy shit. You think wrestling is fake, and I mean, it kind of is, but last night apparently it wasn't. We'll tweet a photo of John Cena's nose right now at SR Show SXM on Twitter. Last night. Go ahead.
And how many times can JBL say, that's a tough son of a bitch?
That's a tough son of a bitch.
All right, take care, man.
Yeah, I was watching, as I always do on Monday night, and John Cena took a knee to the face. Now, generally in pro wrestling, when somebody takes a knee to the face, they don't actually take a knee to the face. But this time, a guy named Seth Rollins actually kneed John Cena in the face and smeared his nose. It looked like a bad UFC injury. It smeared his nose across his face. You can see the photo at SR Show SXM on Twitter. He just started bleeding profusely from the face, did John Cena. And that doesn't even happen in wrestling anymore, all the blood and everything. We'll probably talk more about this with Dan Soder when he gets in, because he's kind of a wrestling fan. But you never see that. And then they showed the replay. Like, is this the first time you've seen it? Yeah, his nose is all swelled up, but it's also moved to the side. Like, the swelling is closer to his, right eye, right? Yeah, so that's where the bone is. Usually the bone is between the eyes, not under one of them. I don't know. He might have to wear one of those ridiculous basketball masks. I don't know for sure. But, yeah, it was ridiculous. And then I thought the WWE, because they're kind of family-friendly now, would want to cover up the injury. Except instead, they replayed the knee smashing against his face in slow motion over and over and over again. Like, look how cool this shit is. Did you just see what just fucking happened? Jeff in Philly. What's going on, Jeff?
Sammy, what's up? Hey, did you see the picture out there with John Cena and he has the D's on his nose?
I mean, I posted the picture. What do you mean he had D's on his nose?
D's nose!
Oh, shit! You got me. That is how you effectively do it. Matt in Breckenridge.
Hey, do you remember Philip the wrestler?
Philip who?
Philip, these nuts in your mouth?
Okay, all right. Okay, I'll accept it. I'll accept it, Matt. It was a bit of, that one was kind of a stretch, but I'll accept it. I'll accept any of them, really. Anything that ends with these nuts is going to get a laugh out of me every single time. Let's go to JT in Manhattan. What's up, JT?
Hey, Sammy, sweetheart. How are you, sir?
Good, pal.
Hey, man, listen, I got to cover the spread on tonight's game.
Yeah.
Yankees or Expos?
Yankees all the way.
Yank on these nuts!
Love it. Or the Expos. Didn't see that one coming. I thought the Yankees and the Expos were really going mano-a-mano tonight. Oh, my God. I didn't get to talk about it yesterday, but over the weekend, it became a big story. The Bill Cosby article in New York Magazine. So I'm glad I didn't get to talk about it yesterday because I wouldn't have gotten a chance to give this update or addendum to it. So New York Magazine did this kind of amazing cover story about all the women that have accused Bill Cosby of raping them. And the cover of the magazine, it looks really cool. It's black and white, and it's 35 people. And they've all accused Bill Cosby of rape. It's 35 women kind of sitting in rows. And they're the accusers. And they go through, and in the article, they kind of all tell their story and everything. Well, on Monday morning, the New York Magazine website went down. A hacker took the website down. And so I'm thinking this must be either a Bill Cosby supporter or somebody who thinks that the allegations aren't true. It is weird to me. It is weird. I guess it's kind of like the OJ thing, that there's always going to be people that are loyal to OJ. I guess less now than ever. But there are still people who are loyal to Bill Cosby. I don't know in this one if it's just people who want to believe that women are liars or if it's people who actually wholeheartedly believe Bill Cosby. Because he's come out and said he did drug these women. He got drugs for the women, except they asked for them. It was Quaaludes, and they all wanted them. Every single one of them just wanted some nice Quaaludes, which is absurd, if you ask me. And you didn't, but listening to this show, the assumption is that you want to know what I think, so it's like asking me. So they talk to all these women, they tell their stories, and the article and the whole website just gets shut down. Now, a guy took credit for it, and again, I thought it had to do with the article because it's very controversial. It's the biggest story there is. But a guy named Threat King has taken credit for taking down the New York Magazine website. And you know why? It's because he hates New York City based on the fact that, quote, I went to New York 2 months ago and it was really bad. Somebody pranked me and everyone started laughing and shit. The first 10 hours being there, some African American tried to prank me with a fake handgun. So he shows up to New York, has a lousy time, and then he's like, fuck New York. And his first attack target is New York Magazine. He writes, I'll try my best to keep New York offline for 14 hours. We would control the internet if we had enough money because each server costs money. So he's paying money now. This is the scary thing. This is why you have to be careful of who you get aggravated. You never want to get like a smart person. I don't mind getting stupid people upset with me. But smart people who know how to use computers very, very well, you don't want to get them upset with you. Because he went to financial means. He was so mad that he had had a shitty time in New York when he went to visit New York City, that he spent money to take down a website for a magazine that's named after the state. It's not even like unofficial. It's not like it's the Village Voice. It's not New York's local publication. It has nothing really to do with New York. And the Bill Cosby thing is as national as you can get. So they asked him. Somebody said, was this related, the attack? Since I understand, okay, New York, okay, I get it. It's a hell of a town. They asked, was it related to the Bill Cosby article? And he responded saying, I have not even seen the cover, LOL. He was just pissed at New York in general. I can't believe, now, this is New York Magazine. Somehow the New Yorker, New York Times, New York Daily News, New York Post, all these publications got away scot-free. I mean, New York Post is running the article, and they all got away scot-free. But this guy hates New York so much that he's like, well, New York Post is technically a Post. New York Daily News, technically that's Daily News. New York, the magazine about the city that ruined my day. That's right, my entire day was ruined because of your godforsaken city. So now, you're not going to get to enjoy this magazine for about 14 hours. Let's go to Mark in South Carolina. Mark, you're on Sam Roberts Show. Again, if you want to call, 866-969-1969. What's going on, Mark?
Hey, Sam, just to let you know, I actually work in the security industry, and we've actually found the server that he's connected to.
It's the server, these are nuts in your mouth.
You didn't even let me ask what the server was.
I know. I was so excited, though.
I know. I get it because it fits right in with what we're talking about. I wouldn't necessarily see it coming, but you got to let me say what server is that.
You know what, Sam?
What?
You're an awesome professional broadcaster.
Well, thank you. I'm the last one, so I better be good.
I know.
All right, buddy.
God bless.
I'll talk to you later. I just love, though. I mean, it really makes you realize that sometimes when you're searching for a motive for stuff like this, on what planet would anybody assume, okay, he took down New York Magazine's website? There's got to be a motive for this. We got to figure out who did it. The first thing we got to think of is, why would a person do this? That's like traditional. I guess now, in 2015, you would go and try to cyber trace him. Like, you'd see if he left any digital footprints behind so you could find exactly, what leads to what. Or you just see if he's tweeting about it. You just look up Threat King and find out what he's doing. But, like old school investigation, you would go out and you try to figure out, okay, why would a person do this? First, we'll figure out motivation. Once we figure out motivation, then it'll lead us closer to who done it. What detective could ever assume, well, what's the name of the magazine? Oh, New York Magazine. Who's on the cover? Doesn't matter who's on the cover. No, but sir, it's a rape story and a Bill Cosby story and a celebrity story. Doesn't matter. What'd you say the name of the magazine was? New York Magazine. Okay. Then I want you out on the street and finding everybody who's had a lousy time in New York City lately, because that is going to lead us directly to who did this. Trust me on this. You'd look at that person like a maniac, and guess what? You'd be wrong. Because he was right, and you were wrong. So now the magazine website is back up and everything, and you can see the testimony that all these women put out about Bill Cosby is really kind of incredible. I believe them. I believe pretty much every single one of them, as a matter of fact. I think they're telling the absolute truth. Because, number one, those who say that these women are going out and looking for money, and I think Who Kid even implied that some of them would be lying. I know when Waka Flocka Flame was on the show, he said all of them are lying, which is ridiculous. But if you're looking to get money, I would say accusing a celebrity of rape is one of the worst ideas you can do, because if you are indeed lying, and they can prove you're lying, then he's going to sue you for saying untrue things about him. I can't go on this show and say untrue things about people unless I'm obviously joking. Which, if I've ever said anything untrue about any of you listening, I was joking. I was just kidding. But you can't go on the air, you can't go in a magazine and accuse somebody of something and say, this happened, he did this 100%, without it coming down on you legally. Do you know how much money it would cost the women to lie about Bill Cosby if Bill Cosby could prove that they were lying? They all say pretty much the same thing, that Bill Cosby is a complete scumbag. It was when he was at the height of his fame, so it's all like, 70s, 80s stuff. And he's going around, and his game was trying to manipulate people into trusting him. So all of these women, for the most part, the vast majority of these women, said that he said he was going to mentor them, he was going to show them the business, he was going to show them, introduce them to people. He was a friend. They all say friend. So he puts in this groundwork, and then he goes, and then he starts saying, like one person said, he said, let's try a cold read. He pulls out a script. The scene was in a bar. The character was someone who was inebriated, so he poured a glass of white wine. And he starts, and by the time, and that's how he gets it done every time, because by the time these poor women are in this situation, what the fuck are they going to do? Run out? They've realized, wait. The cause has put in all this groundwork. He's this celebrity. He's been a nice guy. There's no way he's doing what I think he's doing. Another person said, Victoria said, I looked around and he was sitting next to my roommate on the love seat with a very predatory look on his face. She was completely unconscious. So she doesn't go down. She's not unconscious yet. He's surely drugged her. But she looks around and realizes her roommate's unconscious, and now this guy, and she feels nauseous, she says. So what the fuck is she going to do? This other person, Joyce, she said that she had a terrible headache and asked Bill for some Tylenol, which is just, I mean, if you're going to hand it to Bill Cosby, why don't you just hand it to him? He didn't even have to do any work for this one. And he said to me, I have something stronger. And I said, you know, I don't do drugs. And he said, you're one of my best friends. Would I hurt you? That's the game. He's convincing all these women that he's friends with them, that he's mentoring them, he's being a nice guy. He is a psychopath. He's a sociopath. For somebody to walk around life convincing everybody how nice they are. Because you've heard from all the people who knew Bill Cosby that said this was not the Bill Cosby that I knew. Not only is he acting on TV and on stage and portraying this wonderful human being, but the more you go through this New York Magazine article and the more you read the accounts of the women, unless you don't believe the women, which I do, the more you realize that he is a complete sociopath that's walking through life as if he's Cliff Huxtable all the time. He's got his Jell-O pudding commercial attitude 24 hours a day, this psychopath. It's no wonder. And he's got this rapist mentality hiding inside of his brain. It's very, very scary. It's very, very scary if what these women are saying is true. And I think it is. And I believe him. I believe him. Is Dan Soder outside? Yeah. I saw you waving somebody in. Oh, why is Roland outside? Oh, my God. But yeah, it's really creepy. And when you start at first, you know, everybody's heard the Bill Cosby story, and the stories that have come out, and everybody's heard the interviews, and everybody's heard the various little sound bites that have all popped up. Really, since Hannibal Buress said what he said. But the end of the day, nothing has been accumulated like this. For this many stories to be put all one after the other, it really gives you a clear indication of what a fucking lunatic this guy Bill Cosby was and what a predator he was. I mean, everybody, there's photos of everybody. And you know, to those that say, well, why would you wait 40 years? Why would you wait 30 years, 40 years to say something? You got to understand, this guy's the most famous person in the world at the time. He's as famous as it gets. And they felt stupid because it's not like he attacked him in an alley. He didn't find him in a parking lot like in The Sopranos and start explaining to them exactly what he was going to do. No, he pretended to be these women's friends for like various points in time. Some people for a night, some people for a longer period of time. So he's sitting there pretending to be their friends. So they know, especially in the 70s and 80s, they're going to get asked, well, what were you doing in his bedroom? And what are they going to say? Well, I thought he was my friend. I thought he had been nice to me, so I thought he was my friend. They know what that sounds like, especially back then when this wasn't getting taken seriously. Now it's a different story. I would also imagine that the first 15 to 20 accusers coming forward probably helped the case. The first 15 to 20 coming forward probably helped the last 15 to 20 after that. Once you realize there's all these women that have also come forward, it becomes a little easier to say, you know what, that happened to me too. It would also become easier to lie about, but these 35 anyway, and 35 is enough. I know it's not everybody that's ever said it, but these 35 in the magazine, if you're committed to go so far as to put it into print and to put your face on the cover of the magazine, you're either, if you're lying, you're fucking insane. You're crazier than the cause is if you're lying. I don't think they are, though. I don't think they are. We should probably take a quick break because Dan Soder is on his way up. I got a lot to talk to him about, and I don't want him to come in awkwardly. This is a professional environment for Dan Soder. Yeah, I want to talk about what's going on in the in the world of Trump. There's this video that I've been watching all day. I've been watching it since last night when Paul sent it to me. It's a cop who's put out an all-points bulletin on a criminal. I know that there's a stereotype of small towns not being as busy as far as crime goes, But I had no idea that any police officer had this amount of time on his hands, ever. I'll get into that video. I'll get into Drake and Meek Mill. I'll get into everything. I want to. I don't know if I'll have time. I don't know if we'll have time. People can't sleep. It's ridiculous the amount of personal information I have over people that just work in these hallways is insanity. If we don't get to that today, we'll get to it tomorrow. We'll get to it at some point. Dan Soder coming up next here on Sam Roberts Show. Don't you dare move.
Sam Roberts Show will continue next. More Sam Roberts Show.
Like they were just like, oh, I guess Sam's on. I don't know for sure. But I think that's better.
Yeah, speak up.
Yeah, I think the last thing you want is for anybody to really realize. I mean, the listeners know I'm here.
Yeah,
you know they've been good, so that's fine. I don't think anybody in the building has heard the show.
I think the way Jay and I look,
right?
Maybe people know you in the building.
Yeah, they know who I am. Oh, Sam's a good guy.
And but Jay and I together, we look like roadies for an unsuccessful band.
Right.
Like, I'm definitely lighting technique, maybe more the computer nerdy guy, and then Jay is moving in giant cases of guitars.
Big Jay is like the guy who's there, like he's the head guy.
Yes.
But he's just sitting around doing nothing.
Nothing. And then I'm the one that's
and if you try to ask him to do anything, he's union rules.
Yeah, what
are you going to do?
He's going to hit you with a union excuse.
Yeah, like...
So maybe that's why they announced it, so everyone in the building could be like, hey, these two weird-looking dudes are going to be walking around.
Like they're supposed to be here. Yeah. I want you to know.
Don't freak out. In fact, they're like, don't treat them like they're delivering office supplies.
Right. They're the ones doing the show.
Yeah. So I think that's why they did it.
That makes sense.
I think that makes the most sense to me why they would do it.
To put out a press release, that way it's like, don't call the police.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be here.
It also shows you have little to no self-confidence.
Right. You're like, oh, this is great. I wonder why they did it. Probably because they hate us.
Security precaution, probably. They don't want anyone freaking out.
Has to be. Has to be.
I would be the most timid rapper
Would you?
Yeah, I wouldn't be bragging about stuff. I'd probably just be talking about like how I'm living comfortable, but then I wouldn't be specific.
Right.
I'd just give ballparks.
Right. Like, you know, I finally stopped renting.
Yeah.
And I have a nice, it's a 1.5 bedroom.
I'm letting you know I'm driving a Benzo, but I'm leasing it.
It's a lease.
So don't think I've got all the money in the world.
Right. I want you to know I still struggle.
It says success, but I'm still hungry.
Right.
That would be my rap mantra.
Right. Yeah, I mean, so because you're also getting an hour special from Comedy Central, right?
Yeah. I'm doing an hour.
So are you comfortable with all that?
I don't know.
Right.
Maybe I'll have to like come up with a another persona like Garth Brooks did.
I know you wanted Dan to do the special. But
this is Stu Reinhold. He is much more confident. He's a charismatic swinger.
He's going to be doing the 1 hour special. Yeah. So
I'm very excited, though. I think that was kind of a cool thing that it worked out that, you know, Jay and I both got specials before, and the length that it took this show to get on air.
Well, how long did it take you guys to get it? Because your show is called
The Bonfire.
Why is it called The Bonfire?
Because of contractual things, names in the show would have been a problem.
So what, did they have to have a name of a show that they... Who's this, Vince McMahon, starting radio shows?
No, but it was like, we wanted, and it was like, it's a very long, dumb contractual thing, but like an evergreen name.
Okay.
We just needed a name.
So that they can own it.
Kind of, but not really.
Okay.
It's almost more like, so Jay and I can own our freedom. Like, there's just like a name, so we're not, you know.
Oh, so that way they don't try to claim ownership over your own...
Yes.
As people.
Yes.
I get that.
Yes.
I get that.
You got to, because when you're, you know, you got to be careful about that shit.
Yeah. Yeah. I always assume, I just call everything Sam Roberts because you can't own Sam Roberts, right?
Yeah, they can't.
Actually, we absolutely can.
Oh, no, I think it'd be very legally binding.
Is that right?
Yeah. So.
Good thing nobody's listening.
Just good to know that you will no longer be. It'd be great if you were like Dylan and your real name wasn't Sam Roberts. That was just your radio name.
If I just created it for SiriusXM. Actually, SiriusXM gave it to me when I got here.
That with the badge. They're like, you're now Sam Roberts.
Yes. But my name is Sam Roberts.
So, yeah, we did. So, The Bonfire, Mondays and Wednesdays, 6 to 8 p.m.
On Comedy Central Radio.
Yeah.
How long did it take to get the show off the ground? Because I know there have been rumblings.
We did 6 test episodes in October of last year. So,
October of last year?
Yeah.
So that's, what is it, July plus 2 is about 9 months.
Yeah. Children have been born.
But that's when the test shows happened.
Yes.
So there was time before the test shows.
Yes.
When it was like you have to take, it takes months just to get to the point where they're like, okay, we'll put you on for test shows.
There were like 3 or 4 meetings even before the test shows.
Oh.
Yeah.
And you still wanted to do it at the end of all this.
I got to the point where Jay and I were just like, is this just, are we even going to be able to do radio, or are we just going to look at each other and just like, are we just going to watch our friendship deteriorate?
Yeah.
Because of all these weird, and listen, man, like, it's a lot of it, like, Jay and I have talked this to death, but it really is like, a lot of it was my people being like, I was filming something and they were like, listen, if we sign this contract, you have to give us, because it was Comedy Central, it wasn't serious. That's what a lot of people don't understand. It was Comedy Central with the contract that we were, but it worked out, and it just took a little bit.
Right. And
massaging.
Now, do you guys get to do whatever you want to do?
Yeah.
Now?
It's fucking great.
Isn't that crazy? It takes you a year to just at the end be like, okay, it'll be you and your buddy, and you just do whatever you want to do. Like, just be funny.
That's what we were trying to get the whole time. I was like, can Jay and I just hang out and you'll record it? And they're like, yeah, but we're going to try to market it like, and you're like, yeah, we're just going to do.
Yeah, because I read the show description, and it was like comedians, and they talk about comedy and what's going on and take your calls. Like, okay, so they're just hanging out in their life.
Yeah, you should just be like, hey, comedian Dan Soder and comedian Big J Ogerson are going to do a radio show.
Right.
So
they're going to just,
we pretty much know you guys would know that that's going to be. Right. We're not going to break down.
You know them from other radio shows. Now they're doing their own radio show.
It's not even comedy. It's all earth science. We're talking climate change and tectonic plates.
What's your niche that you fall into?
What's going to be your specific thing? I don't know. We're going to talk about dick and balls and other stuff that make us laugh.
Well, yeah, the channel's called Comedy Central, right?
Yeah.
I guess we'll try to be funny.
Man, how great would that have been if Jay and I planned to just do some like really weird conspiracy show or some show where they're like, hey, can you guys not do this? Like
what? This is what
we just discuss war crimes every episode.
No, it's a history show.
Yeah, they're like, no, this is brutal to listen to. You're like, yeah, I know. You guys made us wait.
Yeah.
So now we want to do this.
Also, You never asked if we had a passion for World War II, which we do.
Not even. I'm going to go obscure other countries' wars.
Yeah.
Ones we weren't even involved in.
Yeah. Well, people don't realize and how to. Yeah, it's wars that you didn't know about and how it affects us.
Yeah, did you guys listen to Wednesday's show? They just talked about Malaysian combat for 2 hours. It was
Yeah, but I never know. I didn't realize how close to home it really is.
Comedy Central's just fucking furious. They're just like, why did we give this guy this show?
Is this what your special's going to be like?
Worse.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's what's on my mind right now.
Yeah, this is like, but Jay said it the best off air. He was like, man, the best part about having this radio show is I don't think they know that we're using this just to promote our stand-up. So
Yeah.
it's like we got a constant it's like HBO's 24/7 before a boxing match, but just about our specials for like the next. I'm taping mine in November, so 3 months.
Right, and that's what it'll be about. That's a hot topic.
Oh, just radio. An hour of radio comedy.
Yeah, that's what I also, once I went daily,
Yeah.
I was like, wait, like.
That's a big move, man.
Yeah.
That's tough.
But it's like now I can tell people that I have a daily show on Sirius XM. Like that.
Yeah.
Half the reason for doing it is just to tell people outside of here that I'm doing it.
Isn't it weird? You're just basically trying to validate yourself.
Yeah.
It's all about your parents. Your parents.
You think so?
I just came from therapy, so I just want to talk like that.
Well, I was saying that yesterday about the Caitlyn Jenner show. Like I was sitting there and they were talking about how important it is to accept. Yeah. Acceptance is so important, and you need to only have positive people around you. And then it showed all her like family members coming in and being like, "This is so great what you're doing," and really accept it. And I was like, I want to transition
just to have
just to have the acceptance.
Yeah.
Like I wish when I was like, I'm going to work for free for a while, but I'm going to work in radio. That everybody was like, "You're so brave. I mean, you really are." That is an inspiring story.
If that's who you are on the inside, then I think you need to chase that.
Right.
But basically, like, that's what birthdays used to be. It was just people being, like, giving you proof, but then it got all diluted with gifts and dumb shit where now people are like, this is what I bought you, I love, instead of being like, hey, 'cause all humans need that positive, like, hey, good for you, you're trying this. Good for you.
And I think when you're working in radio or comedy or something where you're...
Well, the level of failure is so high that people are just like, well...
Yeah, but I feel like when you're being yourself and you're just trying to be like, I'm going to be my most entertaining self and I want some approval for it, you've just never let go of that thing. Like when you're a kid, everybody tells you you're special.
Yeah.
But then eventually, by the time you hit high school...
Not in my house.
They're theoretically supposed... Like, there was an idea that you could be special when you're a kid.
Yeah, in my house, it was more like my mom and her boyfriend taking bets on what I was going to become. Like, you're going to pump gas. That was such a regular thing that was said to me.
Prove you guys wrong!
You know what's so funny is then when I went to a state like New Jersey where they have to pump the gas, I was like, oh, this is what they were talking about. Like, because I didn't get it. I was like, when they said that, I was like, you don't no one pumps gas anymore.
Of course I'm going to pump gas. I'm going to have a car. It's going to put gas in it. I'm going to pump my own gas.
Oh, sweet zing, Joe. Too bad no one pumps gas anymore. You pump your own gas. But
and then you drove through Jersey and fuck, you were right.
That was like 20 years later. He's like, this son of a bitch got me. But yeah, children I think that's what's happening a lot now. But I think the answer to that is the internet. No one gets out clean, man.
Right.
No one gets out clean.
Right. And then you go on the internet. Well, that's what happens. That's where it starts. You go and you try to get attention. Because in the beginning, like in radio, like when I first started doing Opie's show, I would do whatever. Like I did weird shit constantly.
Dude, we've known each other for maybe 4 years now.
Yeah, something like that.
4 or 5 years. Yeah. I remember when I worked at K-Rock and you guys were on air in the mornings and I would go through your guys' rundown on the website and the pure empathetic feelings I had for you and E-Rock on what you guys would go through
because Opie
on O&A.
Yeah.
It was like I would seriously, because I don't think you understood. I was terrified of you guys because of what you had been through. And I was just like an overnight weekend guy. Right. But I remember the first time I met E-Rock, he came in the studio and I was just like, yeah, fuck, man. You guys were like grizzled war radio vets. Like you had seen shit where I just read about it and I'm like, yeah, fuck, I'll just do a speed break into. And
I'm just like 24 being like, yeah, I guess I'll kiss this homeless guy right now. That sounds like a good idea. It's a TV pilot, right? That was their pilot for Comedy Central. Because Opie gave us a talk at one point where, like, I think he wanted to do something. Yeah. And it was, I'm sure, I don't even remember what it was, but it was fully grotesque. And no human should be asked to do it.
Yeah.
But he was so disappointed that and Jim, too. Opie and Jim, Anthony, I'm sure, was disappointed, but he wasn't as...
vocal?
Yeah. but Opie and Jim, when they would get disappointed in you, you'd know it. And they would, like, the whole staff, they were like, Opie was like, when I was coming up, you just say yes, you do whatever it took. And Jim, he'd go into, like, all the dumb shit he did in comedy and stuff. So I'm, like, 23, 24, and I'm like, those guys are right. I should be down for whatever.
You fucking moron.
And so I went through this phase where it was like, yep, yes, yes, yes.
This is the same way they get people to do porn. This is the same way they get people to be mercenaries. It's all the same fucking mental thing of like, oh, what are you better? You're better than what I had to go through?
Right.
And you're like, dude, I didn't realize that's how my mom's parenting style was.
That's it.
Like the same way Opie got you to make out with a bum is the same way my mom got me to go to the University of Arizona. It was like, I'm going to make you take out loans. I'm like, this doesn't sound like a good thing, though.
No, but you should, because it'll build character and you can learn how to be an adult.
When I was growing up, a college education was all that was important.
Right. Yeah. And
man.
And like to this day, Travis will be in the office going, Sam, like, I can't wait to get really successful. Like, I hope you get really famous. I'm like, oh, thanks, dude. He's like, yeah, because I have a picture on my phone of you with a dildo in your mouth. Like, well, that's not kind at all.
One of my friends is going through that right now where he did all that embarrassing shit in comedy. And then, like, he just had, like, a good thing happen to him, so agents are talking to him, and they've done their back research, and they're like, yeah, there's a lot of shit out there that you have done. And you're like, oh, yeah, there is a picture of him with a dick in it. Like,
I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for that conversation where it's like, yeah, this network wants to do this, blah, blah, blah. Who is AJ Poopy Shits? Oh, AJ.
Oh, God, I can't wait. I can't wait for you when you're up for, like, the new host of Entertainment Tonight.
Right.
And they just fucking can you. Because there's a bunch of shit.
It's kind of like Mario Lopez being AC Slater. It's the same thing, I swear. Huh.
Sam, we went back and found some stuff that really disturbed the higher-ups.
Yeah. Now, you were once known on the internet as Creepy Gay Kid. Is that right?
Now, are you impervious to that internet hate now? Like,
yeah, I don't care.
You're just grizzled.
Yeah, I don't care about any of it.
I've gotten to it.
Yeah.
I think I finally understand it.
Like, you just have to get past that point. Like, at first, it was horrendous, horrible.
Yeah.
But then, like, it gets to the point where
Did it make your marriage stronger? Because you went to your wife for support?
Yeah, but then no, because what would happen is
you found out she was posting about you.
yeah, I found out what her username was. And she was the worst person of all.
Fuck this guy! I sleep next to him.
No, because I'd start thinking she was lying. I'm like, well, she's biased and uninformed.
Yeah,
these guys know what they're talking about.
That is anybody that is driven has that. The world is against me.
Right.
Doubt in everybody.
Sam, that was a really good show. The fuck were you listening to? Because I saw on Reddit it was a terrible one, and I think they're right.
I cannot remember a compliment to this day that my mom has given me. However, I can tell you exactly where I was standing when I go, hey, Mom, I'm going to do Conan again. And she goes, oh, that's awesome. When are you going to do Jimmy Fallon? And you're like,
That's like, to this day. I'll come. You know that the WWE show that we're both on? The List. The Talking Head show.
So much fun.
So I'm like, to this day. My dad calls me. He calls me like probably every other day at least.
Okay.
What are you up to? I'm doing this and doing that. Oh, I'm going out to Stanford next week. I'm going to do some more filming for WWE. Oh, great. So they paying you for that or?
Yep.
And I'm like, why would you bring it up? Like, that's the first question.
How about you just support what I'm doing?
Right. Like, how about you just realize, like, oh, this is a kid who grew up watching wrestling. Now he's going to be on the fucking TV show.
Hey, you're doing what you love.
Right.
But
no.
Not at all.
Don't you think they should? Don't worry about what I think about any of it.
You do have I'm friends with my dad vibe to you.
Yeah,
but it's a comforting thing.
It is
because I'm friends with so many guys with that. There's just none of that. There's just like this dead shark eye about them, where you're like, oh, you don't know where you came from,
right?
And then, but it's like,
right, because there's no positive male role model. There's just like I'm competing with you right now.
You're fighting for the same food I'm fighting for. Right? But it's great because like talking to you, there's almost like a warmth where you're like, oh yeah, man. And when you said that, you're like, I call my dad about it every other day. I'm like, Dad, he's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you just like hear him breathe? I just want to hear him breathe.
Dad, it's me. You're not hanging up?
Yeah. Hi. Dude, that is so funny. Yeah, most of the guys I hang out with, they're like, I don't know. I think I would probably say 60% of my friends, if you go, where is your dad? They go, I don't know.
So I'd be the guy who's like, yeah, don't you hate it when your dad, like the first question is how much you getting paid?
Yeah.
And they're like, I don't speak to my dad.
Yeah. I don't even know
how lucky you are.
He's not. I don't even know his name, man.
Yeah.
I won't even know where to start.
Right.
But yeah, I think there's like, but that's awesome. But it can go too far. There's like, I think a lot of the people that I hate, or this is just how I choose it, obviously, because of my own fucking dumb psychology.
Yeah.
But whenever I see a guy that's like one of those businessmen, it's like, what's up, bro? Like, I just crushed pussy and I fucking played lacrosse and I was pretty good at it.
Yeah.
I didn't go to a state school. I went to a private school. My dad's my best friend.
It's one of those. It's one of those jocks that, like, when you were a nerd, you were like, yeah, well, wait, 20 years in the future, he's going to be a loser, and then you see him and he's not a loser.
No, they're doing great. They're doing better.
Yeah, they're making tons of money.
They look
crushing
great.
puss.
So much.
Yeah.
So much puss is being crushed.
Yeah.
Like a recycling plant. It's just crushing puss and recycling it into brand new puss.
And so you're sitting there like...
But they're always like, I always have like this thing of like, you're probably best friends with your dad. Like they talk about puss with their dad. They're like, oh yeah, bro. Yeah, he's like, and they just both have that voice. They're just like, yeah, dad. And he's like, I know, son. They're like Putty from Seinfeld.
Yeah, just high-fiving all the time.
Yeah, just like, what's up, buddy?
Ask the jacket.
Yeah. That's where you're like, oh man, I would kill for that.
Yeah. That jacket?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, they were trying to make that a comeback. The 8-ball jacket?
Well, yeah, because that guy in the subway.
Was that why?
The guy in the subway had the 8-ball jacket on. They were making fun of her, and then he ended up smacking that girl.
And he was like 6'8".
Yeah.
He looked like a Game of Thrones character. That's how big he was.
With a leather 8-ball jacket.
It's just, yeah. But I remember that. How crazy is that? Is that a subway assault led to a fashion spike?
Yeah. I would wear that jacket.
You're like, because of the subway guy?
Because of the subway guy. Yeah, he smacked that girl in the face.
Stand together.
But what I was saying, the reason we got here was because, yeah, you were saying that the internet is where people are going for attention now because kids want to just continue being special.
Yeah.
But what happens is you do whatever you can for attention. Just like in radio, I do whatever you can for attention. Then once you end up doing anything that anybody actually pays attention to, you've got this embarrassing back catalog.
Oh, yeah.
It's just there for anyone.
It's not good.
No.
It's not like when you find a band and you listen to their album and you go back and you listen to their previous albums and you're like, oh my God, this is my favorite band now.
Well, yeah, that's part of like...
That's not how it works in radio and comedy. You go, oh, I like this. And you go back and you go, I mean... I guess I think I like it.
Well, now in comedy, too, like, for me in radio, it's been like, you know, I started like 10 years ago, so YouTube wasn't as huge then, but...
Was it even really around
I don't think so.
Lazy Sunday on SNL?
Right. But the fact that I started with Opie, one of the biggest radio shows, means that everything is there. So, like, everything from the beginning.
And there's a lot of people that don't even view you as Sam Roberts from the Sam Roberts Show.
Right.
They view you as that gay little, what was it?
Creepy gay kid.
Yeah.
That was funny, man. You did a thing.
Oh, dude, Creepy Gay Kid's got his own show now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. You remember Bob Kelly raped him. Yeah. But...
You're going to have so much radio go get your shine box moments.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Has that happened already?
Not really. It happens a little bit, like when fans get drunk. Like I went to see Norton in West Nyack on Friday.
Yeah, Levity Live.
Yeah, Levity Live.
How was it?
It was great. And he's amazing. I mean, it was on Friday. It was the day the Hogan stuff broke.
Oh.
He already had Hogan stuff on stage. Incredible.
He goes on stage at the Cellar and will just do 15 brand new, and you're like, what the fuck?
Where did that come from?
And then I got to shoehorn my hack in where I'm like, so I quit smoking. And people are like, yeah, it was like 2 years ago.
We know.
I've seen the bit. And you're like, yeah, God damn it.
Yeah, I realized that I think it was like a year ago last time I saw him at Levity Live when he did a whole other hour. He's done a special since then.
Donald Sterling, all that stuff. And you're like, oh, God damn it.
But it was like, it was, everybody was cool. Everybody's almost always cool. All the fans, like, I love when people say, hey, Sam, like, I love meeting listeners. But it was the end of the night, and there were these two guys who were outside the club knocking on the door.
Yep. Oh, already.
Yeah. And they let them in, and they were drunk. I'm sure they're perfectly cool when they're not drunk, but they were drunk.
Yeah.
Because they started doing it, and it was the exact go get your shine box moment when they were like, yeah, I guess, yeah, Sam, you're doing your show, right? I guess you're trying to find your voice. Just kidding.
Yeah, you're like.
And I was like, I want you guys out of here.
Well, I mean, something that
I want you guys out of my life. Like, I don't want to be talking to you.
You got to understand that comedians deal with that every show.
I'm sorry.
If you're on the road.
Because they're the funny guy now. The drunk guy's going to be like, yeah, you know, me and you.
There's a 90% chance you're going to see somebody that's like, all right, so what do you, even though you just entertain them for fucking 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
They'll come out and they'll be like, yeah, so, like, what else do you do? And you're like, I don't know. I mean, I just held the attention of a room for fucking an hour, making you laugh, pretty much knowing when I was going to make you laugh, Or not, if it was a bad show.
But that's why entertainers, like comedy's the only one where you have to go outside and hang out with the audience after.
Yeah, dude, we've always talked about that. Nate Bargatze is the funniest joke about why movies aren't like that. And you just go into the lobby and be like, I didn't like you as the villain. Like, you weren't good.
You were not good.
And you're just like, fuck. Because they do that. You know, often shows are 3-people shows, and sometimes you're standing with the feature because you don't know anybody else.
Right.
And you know this guy for 3 hours, so you're clinging to him like a piece of fucking luggage after like a boat accident. And I'm just like holding on to this guy, and they'll walk up and they'll be like, you were great. And then they just leave, and you're like, oh. I remember in Madison.
They don't even recognize your face as the guy who was on stage.
Oh, dude, I had one that hurt so bad. Madison, Wisconsin, one of the best clubs, Comedy on State. One of my best friends, Gary Veter, opens for me on the road, and he had a great set, and I had a great set. It was a great show.
Yeah.
And afterwards, everyone's saying nice things, and this dude walks out and then stops. It's like he's walked by us, and he stops, and he pivots around on a foot and shakes Gary's hand and goes, that was a great set, and then just leaves. And I was like, oh, man, that stung.
Because you want to, and I hate it when people say this, because intellectually you want to be like, well, he's just complimenting Gary,
of course, and he loves his style and that
has nothing to do with me. My act was independent of his, so a compliment to him doesn't have anything to do with me.
It doesn't take. That's what my therapist was trying to tell me.
Yeah.
It doesn't take away any of the laughs I got on stage, and I felt I had a complete show. Also, I entertained for 52 minutes.
Right.
That was a good set, and then it's like, no, fuck that.
But I didn't have that guy shake my hand.
And then we're playing video games in the hotel room, and I'm just like, I should just fight you right now. I mean, not really, but
just furious.
Yeah.
But that's the thing about comics now, is that YouTube is such a thing that a comic coming up now, you're probably in it a year before you've got stuff on YouTube. Like right away.
I was so lucky.
You're putting stuff up on YouTube to be like, look how good I've gotten. And it's not until 5 years down the line when you realize you're shit, and now it's on YouTube, and everybody can find the same way they can find my old radio stuff. The comics that are coming up now, all their old comedy is up there.
I have a DVD of one of my first weekends working comedy in Tucson, Arizona, and it is nauseating.
It is.
When I watch it, it upsets me on such a deep level. The way I'm dressed, my haircut, how I'm sipping from a beer bottle every fucking 2 words.
Because that's what comedians do?
It was one of the worst. It's one of the worst things in the world for me to watch. Okay. I honestly think there might be a chance that I'd be more comfortable watching my mother get fucked on film than me watch myself do stand-up at 21 years old.
Oh.
It is so goddamn awful.
How'd you feel about it when you were 21?
Like, that was a great set.
I am a comedian.
Yeah, you just try it.
Yeah.
Just try to be a comic.
I did that. I am good, man.
That feature hates me because I did fucking sick-ass local jokes up front, and then now I'm like, oh, you gross asshole. You're doing easy fucking local humor.
Oh, my God. I wonder... I've got to ask Chris Stefano next time he's in here, because I've always told him, like a few years ago when he was opening.
Yeah.
I came up to, and my mom, I forget what show we were, but my mom was at the show.
Okay.
And I was at the show. My brother was working at Caroline's at the time, so maybe it was some kind of thing. But Chris was doing jokes about the roads. Like, he was doing local jokes.
That's really funny.
And my mom was like, you know, that opener was great. And, you know, he was doing all the local stuff. I really liked it because all the roads and stuff, I loved that. And I immediately told him, my mom loves your jokes about all the roads.
There's nothing more terrifying than having a guy on the road open for you and just murder with local humor. And then you go up there and you're like, I just got here 3 hours ago.
Yeah. That's what Chris was doing then. I don't know who was headlining at the time.
Chris is one of those guys he'll admit it. I've had some rough sets because they just fucking love the feature, and they're like, he was talking like there's
That's exactly what happened.
Sometimes in Long Island you'll get a crowd like that where they'll be like, I loved when the boy went up there and talked about Nassau County, and you're like, I'm from Denver originally. I thought Long Island was a different part of New York. You're like, I don't know anything about this.
I don't know.
And then it's like you can get fucked because they're like, you're an outsider now. Now you're like,
I'm doing general humor.
Yeah.
It should apply to everybody.
Oh, God, I'm trying to make this work in Indiana and in San Francisco. This is a tough...
Guys, you know what I'm talking about, right? With the girls?
That's always one of my favorite things is, like, people on the internet will talk shit, and you're like, yeah, his stand-up's real generic. You're like, okay, what does that mean?
Yeah, you're trying to.
I know I'm not doing just relationships and black people do this, white people do that. So what other generic thing? Like, all right, pot, I guess, is a generic thing. It's so funny how we read into the insults online.
Yeah, but you were saying that you think you've gotten over the online hump?
Think so. I think I just don't give a fuck anymore.
Yeah, that's where you got to
is?
get to.
I just don't care.
Like, yeah.
It's nice when people say, like, there's a lot of nice things people said about the bonfire last night, our first episode, and it was like, that's fun. That's great.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go searching for the other shit.
I've gotten to a point where, like, on a surface level, I like the compliments.
Yeah.
But I never really believe any of them. And then it doesn't.
No,
and then the shit talking is also kind of like, this person's an idiot, whatever.
Yeah,
like you just got to
so...
get to that sort of like lackadaisical.
There's a great thing if you ever do take anything personal, just go look at their history, and it's very rare that you find someone you're like, I wish they did like me.
Right. They seem really cool.
Yeah, we have a
lot of common interests.
There was one guy when I first started doing Opie and Anthony that just was like, fuck this guy, he sucks. And then I looked at it, and he was like this awesome surfer who like did Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
And he was like into like Dangerfield and like cool stuff that I liked. Where I was like, and Chappelle, I was like, oh man, this guy, we should be getting together wonderfully.
This guy actually really seems like he knows what's up.
And I blocked him because I was like, fuck you, man.
Yeah. He was like, and I faggot blocked me.
Yeah, that guy sucks.
Yeah.
And then I'm just like, but one day, I'm just hoping
you're gonna come around on me. That's the other thing. I'm like, I've also gotten to the point where I go, okay, I know what I do.
Yeah.
I know it's different from what other people do.
Yeah.
And I understand that a lot of people are not going to get it, especially at first.
Well, they want what they know.
Right.
That's how has no one grabbed onto this concept that is everything in entertainment? They go, I hate it because it's different than what I know, and then they're like, actually, I like it, and then it gets big, and then they're like, I liked it before anyone else liked it.
Yeah.
And then they're like, let's tear this motherfucker down.
That's it. That's the cycle.
And then it's the cycle. And then you build it back up, and they're like, oh, but it's not like the old thing was. They're like, oh, but it's better. Oh, I fucking hate it.
Right. I feel like what got me to that point was when I started doing radio shows and people started calling up and saying, I used to hate you, but now I like you. And I'd go, I mean, it's shitty that you used to hate me. I guess I can't fully take that as a compliment, but
you got to understand something about us, Sam, because we're in the same boat.
Right.
We have a very hate-first thing about us.
Right.
You have a hate-first thing with the way you are. People hate me because I have a fucking weird voice.
Right.
And I don't look like my voice, so they're like, it's weird, I can't put it together.
Nope, I thought it was one thing and it's a different thing.
I don't
like that.
But then I found out when people because that happened to me on Bobby's podcast. A lot of people were like, fuck this guy, Dan Soder, or whatever his name is.
Right.
And then after 3 months, they're like, oh, I love him. And then you're like, why don't you do Bobby's podcast anymore? And you're like, I try to all the time. Yeah, so it's like this weird.
You said you hated me.
Yeah, why do you guys want me on it?
Right.
But that's what it is. That's what this all is. It's very rare that someone's like, he's awesome, loved him since day one, fucking not going anywhere.
You have to go through a couple cycles when you realize, like, okay, the people that don't like what I'm doing now, once I do something else, will tell me they miss what I'm doing now.
It's amazing to me even to look to the guys that I look up to in comedy when you see hate for them and you're like, wait, what? Like when people started hating on Louis, you're like, what the fuck?
Or the amount of hate that Amy's getting now.
I mean, that's just, but I think it was weirder to me when I saw at first everyone turn on Louis, or not everyone, but like people turn on Louis.
Sure.
And then a certain amount of people turn on Burr, where I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Right.
He's the best stand-up comic working right now.
And somehow he's achieving levels of fame and getting better as a comic.
Yes, it's amazing.
How is that even possible?
And you're getting mad.
And he's maintaining artistic integrity.
Yeah, this
that doesn't happen.
He's making it difficult for everybody.
Yeah.
And then like Amy's fucking just doing like killing everything she's doing. She put out a fucking amazing movie, and
it's her movie, and it's a real movie. It's not an indie movie. It's a theater movie with Judd Apatow, and she got to write it, and she's the star. And
do you know how many shitty indie movies I've had to see my friends make, and then after the movie go, hey man, that was like great job. And Amy's, I was done. I was like, that was a fucking good movie.
I saw it 3 times.
Yeah, and it's like, but now there's hate for her because that's just the way it is.
Right. No, you were ours. Now you're too successful.
Now you're not ours.
Right.
That's why the best way I can relate it is being a Queens of the Stone Age fan.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that because there was a moment where they started getting very big, and I felt that inside me where I was like, no. What about us?
Yeah.
What about us supposed to play small theaters and surprise shows, Josh Homme?
Yeah, I enjoyed you, and I was cool for enjoying you.
Yeah, and we'd acknowledge each other, and I have 9 of your T-shirts.
Yeah.
No. And then it's like, fuck it. It's good that they're doing that. It's
Right.
good that they're making money because they can make the shit they want to make.
Oh, you like Queens of the Stone Age? I do too. Fuck you.
Dude, there is this girl that said that to me and my friend. They played the Barclay Center last December. Might have been 2 Decembers ago. And my friend, who is not a Queens of the Stone Age fan, but I was like, dude, you gotta see him live. You're gonna fucking love him. A lot of people, you know, I've gotten people on board with Queens of the Stone Age that way. And so he goes to the concert, he leaves, he's like, that was fucking amazing. I didn't know they like played like that. And this girl's like, yeah. And my buddy's like, she was talking to him in line. We were in line for something. He's like, yeah, it was the first time I saw him. And she's like, oh, fuck you. And you're like, wait, what? He just said he became a fan.
Yeah.
And you're like, nah, fuck you. And you're like, no, don't ruin it for everyone else.
Right, they're allowed to also enjoy
Yeah,
it.
it's crazy that someone would say that. I like the thing you like. Fuck you for that.
Fuck you. Yeah. I've liked it for longer.
Okay.
And when you liking it takes away from me liking it.
Does it? Yeah, you asshole.
Might add to it, I think.
Yeah. It was bullshit. It was bullshit, but I'm so amazed that someone could just that feverishly be
This is exactly what I'm talking about. 866-969-1969. Dan Soder's in studio. Pablo in San Antonio.
Hey, what's up, guys? How's it going?
How you doing?
Good. Dan, I gotta say, man, initially when I first heard you on Opie and Anthony, I really, I didn't like you. I didn't know if it was that you were just like still getting in the groove or not really comfortable.
Hey, look at this.
But,
look at it. Hang on, Pablo.
Yeah,
Pablo just, he didn't say, I didn't like you at first, then I came around on you. He said you weren't getting into the groove, meaning he didn't like you at first because you were not good at first.
Yeah. But here's the thing. He's absolutely right. What am I going to lie?
Yeah.
The thing I love about anybody that's like, how do you not just go on Opie and Anthony and kill? Okay, let's take a couple things into factor. Number one, I'm a newer comedian. Number two, I grew up fucking listening to the show. That's how I learned about Patrice and Burr and Louie. And it's like, so the first time I walk in the room, I'm not going to have this comfortable fucking vibe. I'm not a sociopath.
I hate to tell you guys this and burst the bubble. I walked into that room every day for 10 years. It's the most uncomfortable room in any form of media there has ever been.
Yeah.
I've never been.
It's a goddamn shark pit.
You want to talk about like being grizzled. Like when I started doing other shows here, like I would walk into anyone else's show and be like, what? Just juggle while I was doing it.
Yeah, just sit in their seat.
Yeah.
I'm going to run the board on your show.
Right.
You fucking sackless
Yeah,
asshole.
Dan, well, I'm glad you stuck with it, man. You sound real comfortable, and it's fun to listen to you now. I wasn't really a fan at first, but now
That's fine.
Dan Soder fan. So.
Pablo, I appreciate your
Thank
honesty.
you, Pablo.
And I like that.
All right, thanks, guys.
And I like that he really kept it real. I was like, you know what though? I'm kind of okay about you now.
Right. I'm glad you stuck with it because you got better.
You're like, it seems like you're having more fun.
Yeah.
That's like,
Larry in Pennsylvania.
Sam,
Yeah.
I'm kind of stunned when you say that you don't believe what the good things are that people say about you. You mean you don't believe me when I say you're the man, the myth, the legend? Already the man, so great you have to be a myth. You can't be real and already a legend. But you don't believe that?
I mean, no, those things I believe. I meant like you're very, very handsome or that type of stuff. But the stuff you just said I thought goes without saying.
Okay, well, don't scare me like that. I was really, I believe them. I don't say them because I believe. I mean, because they're true. I only say them because they are true. It isn't something I make up. Like all the opening when I say prime time, Hollywood Sammy Sweetheart, the epic journalist Roberts, professional broadcaster.
That's right.
Everyone else named you those things. I didn't make any of those up. Someone else gave you every one of those names.
I mean, I could start calling myself primetime and professional broadcaster, but I appreciate that very much, Larry.
Well, that's fine, but hey, they called you a journalist. You didn't call yourself a journalist.
Right? No, you're right. You're right. Salon.com gave me that title.
Sam fucking Roberts, and you said you liked it, so you're Sammy F. and Roberts. Ron Bennington named you Hollywood Sammy Sweetheart.
That's right.
I mean, come on.
That's a great name.
That's right. Thank you very much, Larry. By the way, every caller hates Larry. Larry is the least liked caller. I love him.
Well, of course.
I think he's great.
He builds you up.
Yeah, I think he's my favorite caller.
If you did a heel turn, he would have to be your manager.
He would 100%.
He would be your Jim Cornette.
He'd be like, Sammy, sweetheart, the effing Roberts, you were good before, you're better now.
He'd just be standing behind him, just soaking it all in. Yeah, I love it. That's for the Sam heel turn, though.
George in Texas.
Yes, Sam, I wanted to put my 2 cents worth in. I used to listen to you on Opie and Anthony. It's not that I didn't like you, it's just that I really didn't have any feelings either way.
I was just not making an impact.
You were very forgettable.
We had those guys, the Filthy Brothers, on, and they were rapping, and you put that music. That was the funniest thing. I almost drove off the road. You showed me anything you do, whether it's funny or not, I'm still behind you.
Yeah, all right, there you go.
One good C?
Well, he said he's behind me. He said anything you do, whether it's funny or not. So I'm like, okay, blind support. I'll take it.
But again, that's like if you were a band, you put out a hit song, and he's like, I just love that song.
Yeah.
I'm going with you now.
Yeah. Let's go to Jeff in New Orleans. What's going on, Jeff?
Hey, it's Harold and Jeff. I want my own name.
You're right. You're right.
So look, one thing that he kept doing when he first started on his show was voices competing with Anthony. It seemed like so Anthony would try to do a voice, then what's your name again?
My name's Dan.
Oh, Jesus.
He would try to do a voice, and they would go back and forth, and it seemed like he was trying to keep up with the voices that Anthony would put out there. And
it wasn't like two funny people just working together. It was Dan competing with Anthony.
It was kind of
I was looking at you like,
I still love you, man, but I'm just
that's hilarious. It's so funny how people read shit like that. Do you know how much fun I was having just doing voices with Anthony? Because I grew up listening to him do voices.
Right. I get to do them with him now.
I want to jam with him. It's not a...
I mean, if anything, you don't want to be better than him. He's the guy you grew up listening to.
It's like, this guy's great.
Yeah.
If I can make him laugh, that's fucking awesome to me.
Right.
It's just funny how people are like, oh, yeah, were you competing? Like, I had a sweatband on in the green room. Like, here we go. I'm going to walk in. Let's open with some dice. Let's see if we can get some dice going. No, not at all.
O&A invited me out of the show today. The only thing I'm there to do is make Anthony look stupid. That's my seat he's sitting in.
I'm gonna do some knuckle push-ups. I'm gonna get in there and do some voices. Not at all. It's like one of those things where even when I do a show now, it's just so much fun to fucking riff with him.
Yeah.
That's what it is. You're just being funny with each other.
Yeah. Jason on Long Beach. What's going on, Jason?
Hey, what up, Sammy? What up, Dan?
What's up, dude?
And these people are crazy. They don't understand that it's hard as fuck once you get into a room. You got to kind of work shit out to know your place in the food chain. So,
know your role and shut your mouth
when you're talking. But absolutely, that's exactly fucking... I would be such an asshole if I walked in and was like, hey, let me tell you what's what.
You started doing material.
Yeah. Hey, guys, it's good to be here. I was just on the Lower East Side, some local stuff. Yeah. I would open it up.
Opie, Anthony, just want you guys to know, I just quit smoking.
Yeah, this bit again.
Take over the room. Anyway, I had a question, man. I'm in the lower circuit of comedy, all those sweet-ass open mics, but I'm running into some trouble with people just kind of taking my stuff already at this lower level. Like, how do you fucking shut people down?
How do you deal with being so good that everybody wants to take
you?
Well,
no, I mean, come on, you gotta build it up like that. Right.
Yeah, dude, that's something you can't worry about. That's someone else's ethics and morals. If they're gonna fucking steal, they're not. It should just. You should take it as a positive thing that, number one, you wrote a joke good enough that people want to steal. But number two, I think the way to look at it is you'll just write more jokes. They won't write jokes as good as yours, so you just write more jokes.
And I'm sure if anybody's ever stolen Dan's jokes, that's exactly how he looks at it. He doesn't get upset. He doesn't get angry.
I will fucking put my hand through a steel wall. So if I find out, but I really think that is, and also it's very hard to steal voices.
Right. That's the trick.
No, man, just don't worry about it. Just write more jokes.
Ed in Colorado.
Hey, what's up, Sammy boy?
How you doing?
I just have to say, I like you.
Oh. That's like an admission to himself. Look, this is hard for me.
That was such Scotty from Boogie Nights after he tried to kiss him, where he's like, I just really, sometimes when you look at me.
Well, the first time I heard you, I hated you, and I still hate this aspect of you.
Okay.
That is your eating habits. You epitomize the crappiest part of America that are people that eating habits are retarded and unnatural. and that's why people are fat too. You happen to be skinny, but
All right.
Yeah, I'm not fat though.
If I was such personal.
no, but it's your mentality.
Yeah.
Yeah, but because I that's my one. Do you smoke? Do you drink? Do you do anything?
Hell yeah, I do all that shit.
All right, so let me have a little fucking McDonald's every now and then.
I mean,
No, it's not that. It's that you just eat. You don't eat natural stuff. Like you probably won't eat mushrooms. You won't eat any vegetables. You don't eat any
Dude,
stuff that you could grow in your backyard.
You smoke cigarettes.
No, I don't smoke cigarettes.
Oh, he's from Colorado, dude. It's
Oh,
legal,
oh,
bro.
smoking. That was there. Look. You have your weed, your alcohol. Lord knows what else. Let me have.
I know. I'm just saying.
Let me have my
You're
soft
gonna
drinks
die
and
early
processed
'cause you're
food.
not-
Then let me
you're
go
made
after.
of crap.
Let me go after what you're made of crap, and you smell like crap,
guys. You guys are
You're a
fighting.
great radio host.
Okay, all right, cool. That's
But
cool.
also,
We're cool then.
that's how much he cares about you.
All right.
He's like, I want you to be alive.
Okay.
He hated you so much at first, and now he worries about what sustenance you put in your body to survive.
Don't you know what you're doing to yourself? We want you around, Sam.
Why can't you eat healthier?
Snowy in Michigan.
Hey, Samuel, how you doing, sir?
Good, pal.
Dan,
What's
love
up?
you, man.
Hey, thanks, dude.
You ever show up in Michigan? You ever do any gigs in Michigan at all? Around Detroit area?
I did Laugh Fest in Grand Rapids this year.
That's like the other side of Michigan.
Yeah, but I hope to be coming to like the Detroit area.
I'll keep an eye out for you, man. Love
Yeah.
to see you, man.
There's some good clubs out there that I'd like to work.
Yeah.
They just opened a satanic statue in Detroit.
Ooh.
Did you hear about that? Snowy, have you seen it?
What's that? What's that now?
The satanic statue that they just unveiled in Detroit.
Yeah, I heard something about that. I didn't get a chance to really see it yet. But
It's like really like sinister. It's like a big goat-headed thing on a throne.
Really?
Well, you got to remember though, they're ready to put a RoboCop statue around here not long ago too.
That's hilarious.
That'd be dope.
I'd love to see it actually myself. I love that movie. But anyway, you know what, Sam? You kind of remind me of. I like you, dude. Don't get me wrong, but
Oh shit! God damn it! You too,
We
Snowy.
opened up a real can of worms.
Snowy calls in every day. I thought he was like, Sam, you're the fucking man, and that's it. Nope.
I like you, Sam. But you like the mid card like Al Snow.
What the fuck would you say that for?
You're not headlining yet, but I always kind of like Al Snow.
Al Snow was never a headliner.
Ever.
He was on the middle of the
ECW?
card.
That's what I'm saying. You're a mid-carder right now, dude. I'm rooting for you. I mean, you're not top-notch yet, though. You got to get
Yeah, but why couldn't you have said, I'm like The Rock when he was the Intercontinental Champion? Why'd you have to go and say Al Snow, who never accomplished more than the hardcore title?
Well,
I want to do more than the
isn't it?
hardcore title.
It's a title.
And I don't want the hardcore title. I want the heavyweight championship of the world.
It's not like I called you Coco Beware. Take it easy.
I mean, it's just as bad. I mean, at least Coco's in the Hall of Fame.
He called you a mid-card is what he called you.
I know, and not even a mid-card with room to grow to the main event.
I'm gonna start calling you the television champion.
Sam, could you consider yourself a headliner right now? Honestly.
That's not what you said. That's not the point. The point is that you refer to me as a mid-carder that's not growing to main event level status. Not somebody, nobody ever looked at Al Snow and said, he's going somewhere, he's the future of this business.
Well, I didn't call you Argue Mike Sharp, did I?
Look, Snowy, you got to rethink everything because that is fucked what you just said to me. Fucked. I'm bigger than, yes, I'm a fucking headliner right now. I'm on Sirius XM every day, okay? I'm a headliner.
This is your cutting your promo. This is you maybe going heel.
And then Paul just told me it's Al Snow's birthday today. I could give two shits.
Hey, Al Snow didn't do any of this.
You're right. I was an Al Snow fan. I had a mannequin head and everything. John in Toronto.
Hey, Sam, Dan, I saw you guys on WWE List.
Yeah.
Looking good.
See?
Sam, don't listen to these guys. You're on a meteoric uprise.
That's right. I don't know if Dan and I are both on a show on the WWE network called The List. It's like a talking head show. And speaking of embarrassing moments, have you seen the show, Dan? Do you have the network? Have you seen it?
Fucking A, do I have that? Of course.
Did you watch the show?
Yeah.
We were on the episode about swag, like merchandise. And one of the producers had emailed me and asked if I could make a video. He knew that I had a bunch of the old school wrestling buddies. And so he asked if I could make a video of them so that they could put it on the show. And I said, okay. And I made the mistake of doing it when I was home alone on a Sunday morning with nothing to do.
Yeah.
Like I had hours free. So I was like, let's make this. And I made this whole video of me actually wrestling with the wrestling buddies, not thinking they would ever use it.
And then they used it, a lot of it.
They used the whole thing. Listen to this clip. And you can kind of hear
There's almost a point where I was like, man, Sam really went in on this Wrestling Buddies thing.
It was way too much. It's a minute and a half of it or something like that. You can go to my Instagram, not Sam, and find the video, but listen.
It seemed like there had never been a more exciting time in your bedroom than when there are wrestling buddies being battled with. Elbow drop! For me, that's kind of true, but based on other people's lives, it may be different.
It sounds like you're jerking off.
Yeah, that's me now.
Yeah.
That's not a video of me back in the day.
Did they give you those, or did you?
No, I had them.
Have those?
Here's what happened. I went to film for them one time.
Yeah.
And they did a thing with Wrestling Buddies, and they had one there. And I was like, holy shit, I forgot how cool these were. So I called, they're like the Wrestling Buddies that we all had in the 80s when we were growing up. And so I called my mom. I was like, do you still have my Hulk Hogan Wrestling Buddy? She was like, yeah, of course. Of course I do, Sammy. I don't throw anything out. And so I told her to find it, and she found it in like the attic or something. So I took that one. And then my brother had Ultimate Warrior, so I took that one too.
Gotta take that one.
Then I spent about a year searching eBay and telling people like for Christmas or birthday, that's what I wanted. And I completed the set.
What?
Yeah, I have the whole set.
You have Legion of Doom?
I have, Legion of Doom, Boss Man. I have the whole set in my apartment right now.
Can you use this type of energy to help me find the Winged Eagle Heavyweight Championship belt?
I found one. It was like $600 on eBay.
That's fine. Where did you find it?
It was on eBay.
Okay. The ones I'm finding are so crazy expensive.
Yeah.
I want a Winged Eagle so bad.
It's really pathetic what you and I go through.
I don't care. I want a fucking Winged Eagle Heavyweight Championship belt.
Jeff in Illinois.
Hey, Sam, you have to be a fantastic broadcaster because I do not know of anyone who got fired because they stayed home from work to listen to your show.
That's true. I got a teacher fired.
Jesus.
I got a teacher fired. I mean, I'm making an impact. What, has that ever happened on the fucking bonfire?
We've had one episode, dude.
Did you get anyone fired?
I don't think so.
Well, that's what I thought.
Well, give me some time.
All right. You make that your goal.
Why? Was it private or public school?
I think it was public school because he got moved to he ended up getting his job back and getting moved to a different place.
So he got his job back.
He did get his job back, but he was fired and he had to appeal it. It was great. It was great. I'm going to take a quick break. Dan Soder's hanging out. Maybe we'll talk a little bit. I'm interested in your opinion on this Hulk Hogan thing.
Got it. How have we not fucking talked about it?
I know. That's what I was thinking. I was playing racist wrestling clips for DJ Who Kid yesterday.
Oh, about
and that's what made me text you and be like, dude, like you would have loved him. So I'm gonna replay at least the Greg Valentine one for you.
Oh yes,
it's
the hammer.
It's so fucking good. You'll love it.
Oh god, I'm very excited about that.
I also want to talk about what a bad influence Greg the Hammer Valentine. I'm not Greg. Donald Trump has been on all the Republicans. They're all trying to trump it up. Like, they're all trying to say controversial things.
Trump it up. Trump it up. Take that campaign and trump it up.
We're going to keep trumping it up right after this. Stay tuned.
Stay put. More Sam Roberts Show to come.
Speaking nice on the air.
Now, more Sam Roberts Show.
What's up, Craig? What's going on here?
Sam Roberts. Shittiest things I ever did in my life. And there's a list. He threw it to a kid in a wheelchair, but I reached over and I grabbed it. And I refused. Yeah, I know. Yes.
But
I broke my neck in real life, so I got the shit back. Karma is real.
It really did come back to you.
Yes. I got my photo with the fabulous moolah down there.
Listen, I hate to hang up on somebody with a broken neck, but we got to keep moving because listen to this. If you remember, a couple of weeks ago, Katie Linendahl, DJ Who Kid, and myself made bets as to what would be the song of the summer. I said it would be The Weeknd, the song we just heard, Can't Feel My Face. Listen to Tom Cruise last night on Jimmy Fallon and The Tonight Show.
Home court advantage here. Okay, hang on. Okay, so my first song is being at the top of the charts all summer long. You know, it's the song of the summer. Right, Jimmy? Remember that? Okay. It is by the enormously talented The Weeknd, and it's entitled Can't Feel My Face.
Song of the summer. I'm normally not the type of guy to say I told you so, but I've never gotten Song of the Summer wrong before. Song of the Summer. If anybody can proclaim Song of the Summer, I would say it's Tom Cruise, wouldn't you? I mean, he is in Mission Impossible. He is a Scientologist, for God's sake. You ever see him in Magnolia? It's an incredible movie. Tom Cruise proclaimed The Weeknd and Can't Feel My Face, the Song of the Summer, the song Sam Roberts picked. Look, that's just my life, I guess. That's just my life. I can pick them. I can pick them. And that means, what do we bet, $100 or $1,000? I think $100. $100 from Linendahl, $100 from Who Kid, and I'm going to send them both into a bouncy castle and then alert all the kids' parents that they're in there. That was the bet. It's on, baby. It's on like Donkey Kong. Paul in New Jersey, you're back.
Hey, Sam, how's it going?
Good.
Hey, real quickly, you should be honored to be compared to Al Snow. You got to remember, he was big stuff in ECW.
In ECW, yeah, but then he came to WWE and it just never panned out.
If you want to get an example of his greatness in
Right.
terms of cutting a promo, Google The Rock, Al Snow, Mick Foley, and there was a classic from the Staples Center.
All right. Look, I don't have time to play. Maybe on the wrestling podcast we'll do something about it, but I don't have time to play wrestling promos all day because there's this great viral video. So do we know where the St. Landry Crime Watch comes from? What state that's coming from? Google that for me, Paul, because I was watching this clip. It's from the St. Landry Crime Watch, and I guess they put on crime alerts when they're looking for. It's like America's Most Wanted, except it comes on during the news. What state is it? Louisiana. So this is coming from Louisiana. Dan Soder, I'm glad you're back because I want you to hear this. No, don't be sorry. It's okay. I want you to come in with your bladder fully emptied,
Yeah.
and I want you to be comfortable. This is a welcome environment. I'm friends with my dad.
This is real. Me and my dad have gone fishing together energy.
That's right. Son, did you have a nice piss?
How was your pee? Do you want me to shake it for you?
Right.
I assume that's what guys do who get along with their fathers. Their fathers shake their dicks for them.
Right. My dad always shook. My dad shook my dick until I went to college. So this is a guy. He's a police officer in St. Landry, Louisiana.
Okay.
And I guess this is part of their news broadcast. You talk about having slow news. This was a minute and a half, or 2 minutes actually. 2 minutes of this guy just explaining a crime and trying to get people to report him. It's like America's Most Wanted, except it comes on during the news. Listen to our officer.
On Wednesday night, July the 8th, Stelly's Market and Restaurant on Highway 71 was broken into and burglarized. The thief smashed...
It's already weird because it's literally a supermarket/restaurant.
Yeah.
Like you can buy raw meat or go for dinner.
It's truck stop.
Yeah. Let me get it again.
On Wednesday night, July the 8th, Stelly's Market and Restaurant on Highway 71 was broken into and burglarized. The thief smashed the front glass with a large rock, kicked in the office door, and made off with hundreds of dollars in cash. Watch as a man commits his crime. Look at him close. The hooded jacket he's wearing is camouflage. He appears to be light-skinned or white, and he looks to be around 6 foot tall and thin. Watch how he walks, with sort of a lanky gait. Stelly's has been a local favorite for decades. The family works hard and is known to be generous. Always with a kind word for friend or stranger, the Stelly family represents Southern hospitality at its best.
What? So this guy
He's just cutting a commercial for him.
Right. This guy comes in and he steals a couple $100 from this restaurant/supermarket, and this cop has taken such a personal vendetta against the whole thing.
And if you knew Stelly's care about their customers, they would want them to have money. They probably would have gave it to them if they asked them to borrow it.
And he's so invested in somebody catching him. Look at the way he walks.
Find the way he touches the ground, the guilt, burying him deeper and deeper with each step. That long gait will coming for you like a stallion through a field.
That's the weight of the Lord on his shoulders as he walks.
That sin has been committed against Stelly's. And when he walks with the whole entire community on his back, upset that hundreds of dollars were taken.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I mean in the 3 figures.
I mean, we're talking high twos. Maybe 290. So this is just what he does. He just cuts the commercial for Stelly's?
It's not even a commercial. It's literally like it's a crime reporting thing disguised. It's a commercial hidden in a crime reporting thing, because at the end he's like, if you have any information, he keeps going though. About Stelly's.
I remember they used to do a soup there back in 92, I think it was, which was such a nice... He just keeps rambling on.
Yeah, listen.
If you're the man that committed this felony, look at me, son. I'm talking to you. The sheriff likes Stelly's restaurant, and so do I. The food here is good, and the folks are friendly. We're going to identify you, arrest you, and put you in a small cell. After that, I'm going to have a cheeseburger here with fries and a Coke and leave a nice tip for the waitress.
That is the fucking best.
He's a psychopath.
And when you're in your tiny cell, you're going to be like, I wish I was sitting at Stelly's giving them my money as opposed to taking theirs.
That's right. There's no Coke in jail.
And just to let you know, the small room I'm going to put you in is not as nice as the luxurious booths available at Stelly's when you want to eat at Stelly's. All right, anyways, we'll be right back with the weather. He just keeps doing double duty.
You're going to ask for a cheeseburger, but I'll have you know, when you're sitting in that cell, we got no cheese. You'll have to settle for a hamburger. Not the case at Stelly's.
I want you to know while you're in your tiny cell and I'm eating my cheeseburger and french fries at Stelly's, you are dining on cold justice sitting in your room.
The guards guarding your cell will go by the book. However, it will be anything but Southern hospitality that you're met with.
I like that we always turn it into a wrestling promo.
That's what it sounds like to me.
It just cuts it.
That's what it sounds like.
Thief in the night. I'm the sheriff, and I'm here to...
Kabuki!
With your wide, gaping walk.
You stole from Stelly's. You don't know anything about hard time.
Hard time. Dude, I'm taping my special in Austin, Texas, and I want to come out so bad to Dusty Rhodes' theme song.
The American Dream?
Yeah. He's just a simple man.
You should.
He's a common man. That's what it is.
He's just a common
man. Come out and do the wrist thing. Yeah. Ooh, what's up, baby?
Move your knees.
That would be great. It would completely take me out of my act, but it'd be great.
Jake in Louisiana.
Sambo, listen, that's not the only promo / commercial / death threat to a criminal that guy has done. There's several of them. I'm actually driving through St. Landry Parish right now for work.
Well, stop at Stelly's and have a delicious cheeseburger.
And you can go ahead and tell them Lieutenant Higgins sent you.
Ask him for the...
Anyway, have a tour.
All right, thanks, buddy.
Dude, that's great. I always think it's weird. That's the one thing about radio where the guy's like, yeah, I'm driving, like I'm
right there
Stelly's.
right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other day I was talking about Crazy Amy's Baking Company from Kitchen Nightmares, and like a bunch of calls from Arizona. Yeah, I was there the other day. They kicked me out.
It's fucking nuts.
I
love that that's a thing now that's popular, is like that asshole service where they're like, ooh, she's crazy, but she bakes so well.
Yeah. Let's hear the last clip from Lieutenant Higgins, who just
looks like a sheriff.
He does. He looks like a sheriff, but he's not the sheriff.
You're right.
He's letting him know. He's like,
the sheriff likes the place.
The sheriff loves Stelly's, and so do I. What'd you say, Paul?
Sergeant Higgins.
Sergeant Higgins. Ooh, excuse me, Sergeant Higgins. I didn't mean to step on any toes there. Well, get it right, Roberts. I heard you while enjoying my cheeseburger and fries.
I was filled up on Stelly's delicious meat, and I was listening to your radio show, and I got a problem with Sam Roberts now.
The only thing more satisfying than Stelly's cheeseburgers is their incomparable service. However, that service was interrupted by one Sam Roberts.
My digestion period was upset by Sam Roberts.
I have regular bowel movements thanks to Stelly's cheeseburgers.
Strong, thick logs of man being dropped by myself.
I start my day with a cheeseburger and a Coke from Stelly's.
Yeah, you're going to die of a heart attack, Sergeant.
And then I hit their restroom every day at 10:15 in the a.m. And I stay until 11 o'clock.
I have earned the nickname The Growler at Stelly's.
And let me tell you something, it's not just my belly growling.
It's my butthole.
That's right. Thought I'd clear that up for you.
Just on the local news. I want all the information out there.
A little too much subtlety in the last thing.
I feel like I'm going to be a lot more brazen now. Where they let people know how I feel. There's like 20 videos. This guy's a YouTube star.
What did you say?
His nickname is the Cajun John Wayne.
Yes!
I'm the Cajun John Wayne because I will not let any cheeseburger establishment be victimized.
I fight for the little man, whether it be Stelly's, whether it be an A&W that's franchised off the highway. He's just always picking food places.
I've started a Kickstarter campaign to regain the hundreds of dollars stolen from Stelly's.
Such a massive financial crime has never hit these parts before.
This is verging on white-collar crime.
Yeah, that is. He's probably thought that was me. He's like, we got to bring in some D.C. lawyers.
Yeah. Let's hear the rest of Lieutenant Higgins. Or Sergeant Higgins?
Higgins!
Don't get it wrong again, Roberts, or I will have you in a little cell.
And you will
with
not
no
eat
cheeseburgers.
Stelly's.
No Stelly's for you.
I want a Stelly's t-shirt now.
But I bet you can see Stelly's from the prison, like through the window with the bars on it.
The old bar cells?
You'll be watching me go into Stelly's once a day.
I'll go sit on the hood of my cruiser and have a delicious drink that I bought from inside Stelly's.
A nice Coke to go with my fries and cheeseburger.
Stelly's.
Meanwhile, your next meal will be served through a small hole in a cell door. Because our detectives harvested DNA from the rock you used, and you left a perfect footprint
CSI,
on the
whatever town you're from.
Yeah. I saw a program with Rick Schroeder on it, and he informed me that DNA could be found on the evidence you left behind right next door to Stelly's.
They did a close-up, and I saw the fingertips with my own eyes, and I put it together like Batman.
I do fingerprint analysis with my eyeballs.
He looks like he had two choices in life, to either be a sheriff or an evil football coach.
Yeah. He probably does. He coaches football on the weekend.
I said take their knees out.
Take their knees out or there'll be no Stellas for any of you.
I won't take you to Stella's unless I see those boys limping back to their parents' cars.
Cheeseburgers are for winners, kids. Winners.
door you kicked in. But we won't have to wait on lab results because you're on St. Landry Crime Stoppers tonight. Congratulations, son. I'm about to make you famous. By tomorrow, 100,000 people will have watched you commit a felony. you will be recognized. And the people that know you don't really like you anyway.
Whoa.
So when it comes down to a choice between you and $1,000,
that's how much
they'll take the cash.
Oh.
On behalf of Crime Stoppers, I'm Lieutenant Higgins.
Lieutenant Higgins.
Lieutenant Higgins. This, I mean, he's obviously been promoted.
Yeah.
Is Lieutenant above Sergeant?
I don't know, Paul.
We have to get more of him because I see a screenshot of him in front of a Piggly Wiggly.
Oh, yeah.
If there's one thing I love more than Stella's, it's Piggly Wiggly.
I love his confidence. Like, the way that he talks to criminals in these videos makes me believe that when he fucks, he holds his handgun.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he's one of those guys where he's like, I'm powerful. I'm a sheriff. No,
Honey,
excuse me. I'm a sergeant.
I'm a sergeant. I'm a lieutenant. And I want you to tell me how well the lieutenant is pounding you right now.
So well! His face mashed in a pillow.
That's right. And I'll tell you, if you need help from somebody, you ain't going to get it. Because the people that know you don't really like you anyway.
You've got justice deep inside you to the place where you know you can't move and you just want a nice hot cheeseburger from Stella's when your husband's done laying with you.
And by the way, this guy who stole $100 from Stella's,
he's gone.
They're never going to catch him. He's wearing a giant camouflage hoodie.
He did it right.
Right. He's going to keep the money.
Higgins, you've been defeated.
Yeah. Oh, no. I don't throw the towel in until my cheeseburger's done. And if there's one thing about Lieutenant Higgins, his Stella's cheeseburger is never done.
Like a bloodhound on your trail. Higgins doesn't go anywhere. What else you got? You got another one?
There's a stolen generator, home burglary.
Oh, we may have to go through the whole series
Searching
of
for
them.
a thief on bicycle.
Done. If you don't play that, we're not friends anymore.
Is that right?
I gotta hear this.
All right, come over here. Can I play that over? Can I play any of these on this board?
Oh, I thought you guys had connection. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. We can still be friends.
I didn't mean to put it like that. I thought it was just one of those things where I was like, point at that. I want you to play that piece. Because we've got to get to the racist rest. I want to hear this Greg thing.
Okay, Sam Roberts, you're going to have to play that clip for me.
I want one thing besides justice for Stella's, and that's Greg the Hammer Valentine being super racist.
Yeah.
How do you think? Do you think it's going to leak out about all of them? You think they're all going to start getting popped?
Yeah. Which one did you want to see? We have
the bike.
The bike one.
I want to see how he deals with getting with a criminal on a bike.
Okay. 2 burglaries took place in the Lawtell area. Detectives believe one man is to blame. We're looking for an unidentified white man with long hair on a bicycle.
That does not narrow
The
it
items
down.
he stole were small enough to fit in the backpack he was carrying. One burglary took place at a residence on Prairie Run High.
I have an idea, news agency, for a segment on your TV show.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to do my segment, I can put you in a small cell.
Here's what's going to happen. We're going to up these little crime reports to nightly. Or else you will be in a tiny hole getting a meal through a hole in the ground.
Also, instead of the 30 seconds allotted, I'm going to need 120. That's a full 2 minutes.
I imagine some disgraced news producer from Minnesota that got this job in Louisiana is like, why do we have to do this with the sheriff? And like, I don't know.
Because we're stopping crime, you ignoramus.
I have DNA evidence that proves that this rock was thrown by a man and not a ghost.
And if you want to produce a different segment, you can produce it inside of a small cell where you'll be fed through a hole. And there certainly won't be any cheeseburgers for you.
Cheeseburgers.
Highway. The thief stole a .45 caliber handgun from the console of the victim's truck. The deranged bicyclist also broke into this home on Diane Drive in Lawtell and stole equipment used by tattoo artists. Mr. Bicycle.
You just called him Mr. Bicycle, if that is your name.
I don't know if that sounds like a Pollock name to me. Super Louisiana sheriff.
Yeah. The bicycle was stolen by what many would assume is a dumb Pollock.
I call you Mr. Bicycle.
Mr. Bicycle, if you're not busy pedaling away from a crime scene somewhere, listen to me. I'm talking to you now.
Oh, boy.
What exactly is your major malfunction? Are you a drug addict? We can fix that in jail.
No, you can't. That's the proof about the prison system. It does not fucking cure drug addicts.
No, if anything, it teaches them how to be more effective drug addicts.
What a bad thing to tell a guy. We're not going to get you help. We're going to lock you up.
If your problem is with substances, we'll put you in jail.
I lack the understanding to compromise health for justice. I'm going to lock you up even though it's clearly the wrong thing to do to a man addicted to needle drugs.
Well, if you need treatment for your needles, you should have thought of that before you stole that bicycle, Mr. Bicycle.
Hey, Bicycle, what's wrong? You got a drug problem? Because I won't take care of that.
Lieutenant, are you calling me Bicycle, or are you referring to my bicycle?
Sir, are you stroking out?
Yeah. Bicycle, get back here.
Bicycle burning unicorns falling down. It's just the right side.
Gentlemen, arrest that bicycle.
Lieutenant, you are clearly stroking out.
Cuff the handlebars.
He's not going anywhere.
Gambling addict, we can fix that too. Behind the bars of the St. Landry Parish Jail, we can address all your issues. We can help you turn things around, help you become something more than a wild man on a bike stealing from hard-working folk. We can even help you earn a high school degree.
Bullshit.
It seems to me, from where I'm standing, jail is your very best option.
It'd be so funny. It's like, well, actually, you didn't know he is the son of a very rich businessman.
Right, he'll be just fine.
He's going to be okay. He's actually going to a rehab center in Malibu where they treat his addiction.
Right. I love his strategy, though. It's like, instead of saying, like, turn the bike in and we'll work this out for you, we'll make it worth your while, he's like, turn the bike in and we will arrest you and put you in jail anyway.
Yeah.
Trust me, it's for the best.
Your only outcome is one outcome, and that's me locking the door and throwing away the key. So come on down. So if you're busy later, why don't you come on down?
Sir, I don't know if that's effective. Well, I'll lock you up, too.
I was nice at the end of it.
Or you can keep breaking into homes, stealing and robbing, a petty thief running from one shadow to another. Wild man, you can't pedal away from your life of despair. You're wasting away from drugs and alcohol, and you know it.
He's like,
I'm
actually,
offering you a choice.
I'm completely sober.
A renewed life behind bars.
I'm a kleptomaniac.
Yeah, I
don't have a drug problem at all.
Yeah, I'm addicted to stealing.
Yeah.
From Lawtell, Louisiana.
Lawtell, Louisiana.
Lawtell, Louisiana.
And I'll tell you why it's called Lawtell, because I tell and I'm the law.
Come on down, Bicycle. I'll put you next to tire iron or maybe center concrete brick.
Now, if y'all excuse me, I've got a big wheel to arrest.
Yeah. Over there, that mailbox, it's illegal. It's eating people's mail. No, they just put it in that, and then other people come and get it.
Oh, excuse me, Mr. Telephone Pole.
I think you've been suspicious, Oak Branch. I'm going to take you in, but first I'm going to break you off this tree.
Arrest that catcher's mitt, boys.
Why? It's just on the side of the road.
I said arrest him and put him in a small cell.
Obstruction of justice.
Or we can cure that catcher's mitt's problem behind bars.
Sir, you notice that you have a 0 recovery rate in your jail. What is doing some outside?
Sir, literally every cell is taken up by inanimate objects.
Yeah, you have no room for criminals.
That mop is a criminal.
Well, Beanbag has probably learned his lesson. That was 20 years ago. Well, you just had taxpayers have been paying to keep a beanbag alive?
A criminal beanbag.
I come back and I tell all of my objects how good the cheeseburgers were. Oh my God, the sheriff's autistic. The sheriff, you've been autistic this entire time.
Figured it out.
I don't like.
You know, the thing about cheeseburgers is there's 1,475 sesame seeds on the average bun. Oh my God.
If I don't walk to Stella's in the exact same line, then my OCD, I will arrest every rock and piece of dirt I see on the way to Stella's.
And I can tell that clock is not getting out of its cell because I've locked and unlocked the door 19 times before I left.
I need to go wash my hands again.
Yeah. They've scabbed over from the scrubbing.
From the bugs crawling all over me. Are you okay, Sheriff?
I'm okay. It helps to say it 3 times. 3 times. 3 times.
Odd numbers. The devil can't get in my nose. You're like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? Dude, I would kill to see a small-town jail just filled with weird, inanimate objects.
And you could tell the devil he could try, because I'll arrest his pitchfork right in front of his face.
Yeah. 3 on the pitchfork. That's no coincidence. I stay away from it.
Or a slow death, surrounded by your own demons. A tortured soul on a bike ride to hell. Turn yourself in, sir. Let us help you. On behalf of Crime Stoppers, I'm Lieutenant Higgins.
If you have any information on this...
Yeah, you are, Lieutenant Higgins.
That's hilarious. This guy, John Simpson, wrote CSI Bayou. Everyone knows we take swamp water and we put it all over the crime scene and the fingerprints come up. Gator droppings. Come on down here, CSI Bayou. Everyone know we got a voodoo doll that tell me exactly what happened.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, well, I just found my new favorite local law enforcement agent.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to play the shit out of that guy. Like, I think we're going to need daily updates from Lieutenant Higgins.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
And another thing, I just noticed that wall clock is staring at me.
I'm going to tell you something, Sam Roberts.
Dude, please try to get him on. You can do that.
You want to keep making fun of me, I will arrest your radio in front of your face.
I'll take in every radio I hear your voice on, and I'll put it in its own cell.
We're going to need a bigger cell. A cell big enough for a satellite dish. Try to broadcast now.
Dude, please try to get him on the phone.
Let's work on that. Let's
you guys
work
can
on
do
that.
it. You can reach out. You know how hard his dick's going to get? Thinking some national outlet wants a journalist named Sam Roberts.
Hey, we saw your story about the hundreds of dollars stolen from Stellars.
Oh, by the way, we mocked you to the point that we made you autistic.
Also, you have a severe OCD.
Yeah. But, I mean, besides that, do you want to come on the show and talk?
Yeah. Well, we barely have any time left. Real quick. Apparently, the Hulk Hogan thing is going to get worse.
Yeah, keeps on climbing, yeah. Just a little bit of racism in the big time, yeah. Everyone knows Hulk Hogan never really liked the black people. Try to run a little basketball game with him, yeah. I'd be like, hey, Hulk, let's do shirts versus skins, yeah. He'd say, nah, against them, yeah. That's not skins, the wrong skin, yeah. Hate it.
That's right. Macho knew all along.
Yeah, he was the sympathizer. Listen, Hulk, I think you like my friend Zeus. Yeah, he's a little bit different. He's a black guy. I know you don't really get along with him. What are you saying? You're not going to shake his hand. Yeah, you refuse to shake his hand. Yeah, well, everyone knows. Yeah, that was the whole SummerSlam beef.
Yeah, it was racially based.
Yeah,
racially motivated feud.
Hogan didn't want a black member of the Mega Powers.
Right. He could join us. It's no problem.
Yeah, listen, brother, I don't want a black guy in the Mega. Yeah,
let me tell you something, brother. Yeah. Macho, you can bring that Zeus dude all around all you want, but the Hulkster and all the Hulkamaniacs out there don't want nothing to do with that dude.
Yeah, I think I find it a little condescending. Yeah, you're speaking about all your Hulkamaniacs. I think they might be a little more open-minded. Yeah, thinking about black and white, all same under the skin. Yeah,
Macho brother, the Hulkster and all the Hulkamaniacs know there's one thing that don't add up with that Zeus dude, and it's not only is it skin deep, it's his skin, brother.
That's what I don't understand. Yeah, before you can run, you gotta walk, and before you walk, you're in the cradle. Cradle of civilization. Yeah, it's Africa. That's the original people. If you don't like it, Hogan, I don't think we can be in the Mega Powers together. Yeah,
Macho, I told you, brother, I didn't like you hanging out with Bad News Brown from the start.
I don't understand. He's a funny guy. Yeah, very animated.
He's got nothing funny to say, brother. You know what my daughter daughter's going through right now, dude. That fucking... never mind.
Everyone knows rock and roll's just stole from the black musicians. Hulk Hogan, I don't understand why you don't get it.
Macho, you know I don't get down with that, brother. Unless you want to cross on your lawn, too, I suggest you get to stepping.
Yeah, get your kerosene and get your matches, because everything's about to flame up. Yeah, I got a good rhythm section. Yeah, I got the ability to catch a beat. Yeah, and everyone knows Macho Man wants black people in the mega powers. Hulk Hogan doesn't. That's why we're separating. Civil rights. Yeah, all equal. I'm about total equality.
And that's why you're the heel, brother. That's why you're the bad dude.
Everyone knows black and white's just the same. All that matters is gold around the waist.
Let me tell you something, brother. What's going on in their pants is not the same as what's going on in our pants. Yeah. And I don't want what's going on in that brother's pants next to my daughter, brother.
Garden snake or a boa constrictor. Keep it away from Elizabeth. Yeah, that's my only concern.
I think that's it. Well, now it's gotten worse for the Hulkster.
Yeah, dude.
Believe it or
what
not.
Else? Oh, God damn it.
Since we've been here, is this when did this break? Today? Just now?
2 hours ago.
2 hours ago. That makes it... Breaking news.
Damn you, I hate
you. Breaking news. Hulk Hogan's homophobic slurs are going to be added into this. This is being reported by Radar Online and the National Enquirer. And if there's any more newsworthy sources, I don't know.
You can't... How weird is it that that's what took out Hulk Hogan?
I know.
It wasn't Andre the Giant. It wasn't Big John Studd or King Kong Bundy. Or even the Ultimate Warrior got put over. It was National Enquirer.
It was National Enquirer and DJ Who Kid. It says on the sex tape, Hogan can be heard talking about his VH1 reality show with his sex tape partner, Bubba the Love Sponge's wife, Heather Clem. Talking about the season 4 finale, he said, VH1 wanted me to do a big thing and go back to the house I grew up in. So we knocked on the door, and a big fag lives there now.
That's great.
That's what the Hulkster said. Like, Hulk,
big fag.
How could all of this happen in one evening?
How funny would it be if you go there and some guy's like, yes, just this giant...
And then he continued.
What happens when I look for... Oh, God.
He's talking about... I guess he's talking about the guy that his wife was dating, that Charlie guy.
With that young kid?
He said this half-gay was enamored with Linda. What's a half-gay?
That's such like a old-school way to describe anyone that's not completely masculine.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
If you wear sleeves on your shirt, you're half-gay.
You're half-gay.
Yeah.
Brother, you gotta let the guns fly. So
this guy's afraid to let his guns go.
So yeah, now there's homophobia. I don't understand.
It's gonna be funny if it just keeps going. It's like next week it's like xenophobic comments.
Yeah.
And then it's like just keeps dropping away. We're like, he's a real American, so it kind of makes sense that he would be xenophobic. Right. It is the most xenophobic ring entrance song in the world. It's like America, but it's a world product. But seriously, America.
Yeah. I'm a global good guy.
Yeah.
Because I waved the red, white, and blue.
Yeah. Of course everyone would hate him. He should be the biggest heel.
Yeah.
That's what I said on Jay and I's show. That's what I said on the Bonfire, 6 to 8 p.m. Mondays and Wednesdays, Comedy Central Radio. I said to Jay, they should have turned him into a heel.
Yeah.
Should have been a heel turn.
Yeah.
He should have brought the Confederate flag out and gone full heel. And like,
you mean now?
Now,
just bring him out.
Bring him out and be like, that's right, brother. And then have like some new wrestler that you want to put over.
A black guy.
No, like a heel. Like, who is the Real Americans? Jack Swagger.
Jack Swagger.
Like, if you want to put Swagger over...
He could be a Real American.
Yeah, like, come out with Hogan, and then you just do that whole angle again, which basically they fucking did.
Yeah. I mean, what Hogan said was bad, but I don't know. I played this yesterday, and I wanted to play it for you. We were a little late, but I don't know if what Hogan said in his private life... It was probably as bad as the sentiment behind Greg the Hammer Valentine as he cut this promo towards one Junkyard Dog.
Junkyard Dog, you embarrassed me for the last time. WrestleMania is over. I survived it. Survived Tito Santana and yourselves' little scheme to set me up in a garden, and it didn't work. And now Boston Garden, here it is. This is the bait. As far as I'm concerned, it's the bait, dog, to get you nasty individual, nasty black person into the ring so I can slap you around one more time, because I didn't finish what I started, you understand? I didn't finish what I started.
It's a pre-tape promo. You could just no, Greg. We're gonna do a take 2 on that one.
Yeah, you said you called him a nasty black person. He's like, oh, did I? You know what? Let's just keep rolling. I feel like I'm really getting this.
That was the one, though. I think that was the one.
So funny after the take, he goes, are the sunglasses too much?
Yeah. All right, Soder. People can hear you and Big J Monday and Wednesday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Comedy Central Radio, correct?
Channel 95.
It's called The Bonfire.
Yes.
It's the only one episode in, but already rave reviews, fabulous show.
Yeah.
It's a fabulous, fabulous show. I want to know what we accomplished today on the show. And
we found out that there's the greatest sheriff of all time in Louisiana.
We did. But to really find out what we accomplished, we need to go to the source, somebody who pays attention to the entire show, who can really fill us in. That's Paul. Every day Paul gives us the list. And so without further ado, Paul, why don't you let us know what happened?
Sam can handle a big dick. D's Nuts is running for office. Never lie about rape about a celebrity. Oh boy. 2 comedians are doing a radio show to promote gigs. That son of a bitch Joe got Dan on pumping gas. There's a photo of Sam with a dildo.
True.
Dan can't remember a compliment from his mom.
No.
There's a slight chance Dan would enjoy watching his mom get fucked.
No, wait,
Sam
not at all.
and Dan,
I didn't say that at all.
Sam and Dan are people you hate at first. Sam is like Al Snow.
What?
Sam hung up on a guy with a broken neck. The Cajun John Wayne probably fucks with his handgun. And Sergeant Higgins can fix you in jail.
There it is, Mr. Electricity. Paul, as only Paul can do it with the list.
I'm surprised you can talk after that hurricane.
Yeah. You can get to Dan Soder on Twitter and Instagram and all that, at Dan Soder, and make sure you listen to his radio show. Next time it's going to be on his Wednesday night.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Check it out. And we'll be back here tomorrow. Nicole Ryan's going to be here. And
awesome.
TV personality Jillian Barbary is going to be on.
Okay.
So we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see. It's going to be a good show. It's always a good show.
Yeah.
I'll be here. Don't worry. I got this. Brother. I got this, dude.
Dude.
I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you, Dan Soder.
Listening to Sam Roberts Show. If you missed a moment, listen back on demand at SiriusXM.com/on-demand.
All right, okay.
And stay up to date with the Sam Roberts universe at Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube.com/NotSam, and NotSam.com.